Speed camera trial on Aussie highway targeting millions of drivers extended after positive results. Point-to-point cameras in New South Wales monitored more than 6 million drivers in the past year and will continue targeting all road users after trial results cut offences by 76%. Drivers will continue to be targeted by average speed cameras in one state after a trial of the technology recorded positive results and in speeding offences. This is what they're claiming. We'll come back to that. In the past, average speed cameras in New South Wales only tracked heavy vehicles, but in May last year, 2 locations began to trial monitoring all vehicles on the road. On Tuesday, Sally Webb for New South Wales said the cameras will continue to enforce speed limits for all drivers, remarking that the cameras resulted in a 76% improvement in speed compliance. But then the article goes on to say this. From July 2025 to April 2026, 108 vehicles were detected travelling at an average speed of more than 30 kilometres an hour over the limit, and 511 vehicles exceeded the limit by more than 20 kilometres an hour. But then she says, the trial is delivering real safety benefits and will continue enforcement at the sites while we have a thorough independent review of the results conducted. The outcomes are expected to be available in October. So they're not actually going to get an independent review of the results until October, but they'll still keep issuing fines in the meantime because, of course, that makes sense. And they already admit that over 100 drivers were still detected at over 30 kilometres an hour over the speed limit, over the extended point-to-point period, and a further 500 vehicles were detected at more than 20 kilometres an hour over the speed limit, yet they claim that these cameras are working? Well, if that's the case, then we have a very, very serious problem, people, because if the cameras are in fact causing people to slow down and there's still that many drivers exceeding the speed limit by those significant amounts, then that means that there had to be a lot more drivers doing that prior to these cameras issuing these fines. So, if there were 600 cars, remember 500 over 20 Ks and another 100 over 30 Ks, but we'll keep it simple. If there's 600 cars that were detected at 20 kilometres an hour or more over the limit, and that number represents a 76% reduction in speeding, then very basic maths tells us that there must have previously been somewhere around 2,500 motorists doing at least 20 kilometres over the limit, some of them maybe even 30. Now, given that speed is the biggest killer on our roads, or so they claim, then we should have seen hundreds, if not thousands of crashes, serious injuries and deaths. But of course, that wasn't actually the case. So once again, as usual, their claims bear no resemblance to reality. And again, please keep in mind the obvious distinction that reducing detected speeding offences isn't actually the objective. Reducing deaths and serious injuries is. So as I've said a million times before, if these cameras are genuinely changing driver behaviour as they claim, then surely we should see a corresponding reduction in fatalities and the road toll. And the problem is, not only is that not what we're hearing, as the next story explains, it's actually completely the opposite.